Picture this. You're sitting across from one of Hollywood's most intimidating villains, and he's casually sipping coffee while discussing his love for Danish pastries. That's Mads Mikkelsen for you. A man who turned down countless Hollywood opportunities, stayed true to his Danish roots, and somehow became more famous than actors who desperately chase American stardom. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of how refusing to play by Hollywood's rules actually made him a global icon. Most actors would kill for a callback from a major Hollywood studio. They'd pack their bags, move to Los Angeles, and completely reinvent themselves for a shot at the big leagues. But Mads Mikkelsen, he did the exact opposite. When Hollywood came knocking, he answered the door, took what interested him, and politely declined to become another industry puppet. And here's the kicker. This strategy didn't hurt his career. It skyrocketed it. Let's rewind to understand how we got here. Mads wasn't always the suave, sophisticated presence we know today. In fact, his journey to acting was completely accidental. Originally, he was a professional dancer and gymnast, spending years perfecting his physical craft. But life had different plans. A friend dragged him to an acting class, and something clicked. Not immediately. He was terrible at first. But there was something magnetic about his presence, even when he was fumbling through lines. What makes Mads different from your typical Hollywood success story is his relationship with failure and rejection. Early in his Danish career, he faced constant criticism. Critics called his acting style too intense, too brooding, too unconventional for mainstream Danish cinema. Instead of softening his edges to fit the mold, he doubled down on what made him unique. This decision would prove to be genius, but not for reasons anyone could have predicted. The breakthrough came with Danish films that showcased his raw, uncompromising style. Directors like Lars von Trier saw something special. An actor who could convey complex emotions without saying a word. His eyes became his trademark, capable of expressing menace, vulnerability, intelligence, and humor, sometimes all in the same glance. This wasn't acting school technique. This was pure instinct refined through years of physical performance. Then came the international recognition. European cinema embraced him, and suddenly, Hollywood scouts were paying attention. But here's where Mads made his most crucial decision. He refused to relocate. While other international actors were moving to Los Angeles, learning American accents and desperately trying to fit into Hollywood's machine, Mads stayed in Denmark. He made it clear that if Hollywood wanted him, they'd have to work around his terms. This wasn't arrogance. It was strategic brilliance. By maintaining his base in Denmark, Mads kept his authenticity intact. He continued working in European productions, building a diverse portfolio that showcased his range without compromising his unique style. When Hollywood roles did come his way, he approached them as a visitor, not a supplicant. This gave him incredible leverage and creative freedom. Casino Royale changed everything. Landing the role of Le Chiffre wasn't just about his acting ability, though that was obviously crucial. It was about his entire approach to the craft. The filmmakers needed someone who could match Daniel Craig's intensity while bringing something completely fresh to the Bond villain archetype. Mads didn't try to imitate previous Bond villains. Instead, he created something entirely new. A cerebral, physically vulnerable antagonist whose power came from intelligence rather than brute force. The genius of his Le Chiffre performance was its restraint. Where other actors might have chewed scenery, Mads found power in subtlety. The famous poker scenes work because you can see the character's desperation through micro-expressions and body language. This wasn't Hollywood acting. This was European cinema sophistication applied to a blockbuster format. American audiences had never seen anything quite like it. But Mads didn't stop there. Instead of leveraging Bond's success into typical Hollywood leading man roles, he made another unconventional choice. He returned to Denmark and took on Hannibal Lecter for television. Again, he could have played it safe, imitating Anthony Hopkins' iconic interpretation. Instead, he completely reimagined the character, creating a sophisticated, cultured version that was somehow more terrifying because of its elegance. The Hannibal series showcased Mads' greatest strength, his ability to make monsters sympathetic without softening their evil. His Lecter was genuinely frightening precisely because he was so charming, so cultured, so seemingly reasonable. American television had never seen character work this nuanced, and critics went wild. Suddenly, everyone was talking about this Danish actor who could make cannibalism seem almost sophisticated. What's remarkable about Mads' career trajectory is how he's maintained creative control while achieving massive commercial success. He picks projects based on artistic merit, not paycheck size. When he joined the Marvel Universe as Caecilius, he brought the same thoughtful approach to what could have been a throwaway villain role. Even in a massive franchise production, his character felt unique and purposeful. His approach to fame is equally unconventional. While other actors cultivate social media presence and court publicity, Mads remains refreshingly private. He gives interviews, but they're thoughtful and substantive rather than promotional fluff. He doesn't play the Hollywood game of constant visibility and manufactured controversy. Instead, he lets his work speak for itself, trusting that quality will ultimately win out over quantity. This strategy extends to his personal life. By staying based in Denmark, he's maintained normal relationships and perspectives that inform his performances. He's not isolated in a Hollywood bubble, surrounded by industry people telling him what he wants to hear. He interacts with regular people, maintains friendships outside the entertainment industry, and keeps his feet firmly planted in reality. This groundedness shows in every performance. The financial aspect is fascinating too. By not relocating to Hollywood, Mads avoided the massive lifestyle inflation that destroys so many actors' financial freedom. He's not paying Hollywood-level rent, buying status symbol cars, or maintaining an expensive Los Angeles lifestyle. This financial independence gives him creative freedom. He can afford to turn down projects that don't interest him because he's not dependent on constant high paychecks. Recent years have proven the wisdom of his approach. While many actors struggle with typecasting or career stagnation, Mads continues finding diverse, challenging roles. His work in Another Round earned critical acclaim and showed his dramatic range beyond villain roles. He's become Hollywood's go-to actor for sophisticated, complex characters, precisely because he's never tried to be anything other than himself. The lesson here isn't that every actor should avoid Hollywood. That would be absurd career advice. Rather, it's about the power of authenticity and strategic thinking in building a sustainable career. Mads succeeded by identifying his strengths, refusing to compromise his artistic vision, and making calculated decisions that prioritize long-term creative fulfillment over short-term financial gain. As we look at his career trajectory, one thing becomes crystal clear. Mads Mikkelsen didn't need Hollywood to validate his talent. Instead, he forced Hollywood to recognize his value on his own terms. In an industry built on desperation and compromise, he chose confidence and authenticity. And the results speak for themselves. He's become one of the most respected character actors of his generation without sacrificing his artistic integrity or personal life. So the next time someone tells you that success requires playing by established rules, remember Mads Mikkelsen. Sometimes the most powerful career move is refusing to chase what everyone else wants, and instead building something uniquely your own.